basic toilets among basic toilets in all basic 8-unit toilets, 4 8-unit toilets, 32 toilets in all.
They take your eyes. This government, they put delivery trackers, also toilet. The district assembly them way. Why national government? We tell people what you do, then toilet.
So we can let our galamzees come and work for us in the next 3 years to reach the 200 billion, and I will write all your loans off one touch.
So, number one pillar of our government, will be industrialization. Industrialization.
Our mothers and our sisters need just 1,000 Ghana cedis to be able to use as capital for their business, and they are not able to get it. And that is why, as Nana said, we're going to set up a National Women's Bank. It is going to have its branches in the markets, in all the places that women do business. Your bank, your women's bank is going to be there.
When you look at Nkrumah, when he started this, he was in his 40s. All the people around him were 40s. They were energetic. They were aggressive. They were ready to work. They were ready to stand in the sun. And why are you just standing there and thinking that the old man who you are responsible to look after them? They looked after you before. It's your time to look after them. You are still thinking that they're going to build your future. I think people who are thinking this way are lazy people. They're not ready to get up. And a lot of Ghanaian youth are like that. They think all they have is a voice, and I'm the youth, and I'm the youth. My friend, tomorrow will come, you will no more be the youth. You will be an old man. So if you're going to stand on your feet now and move and make sure that you contribute to the success of the development in this country, you better do it now to be with the history men for tomorrow.
Yes. Ghana, you call digital more, you pay 100% access, electricity and internet. They are also the percent mobile phones. Obiansa Beka smart mobile phone. Digital. You call digital. This is Obiansa Eka mobile phone. And the percent mobile phone no go eba phone. Mobile phone eba phone. Adia mi beye. Ye bi da Ghana ha. Ye me aduma me ye present ye be share see. Adia mi beye. Import duty on mobile phones will be abolished. Zero import duty on mobile phones. Everyone knows phone. You will make access to mobile phones affordable. And the mobile companies no you better kata into the home. Now the mobile phones no amanipa na mafidia watria 1 CD 2 CD 1 CD 2 CD kakra na moitria mobile phone no.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to improve the free SHS. We are going to improve the free SHS. We are going to work hard to remove the obnoxious double track system so that all our children can go to school at the same time and close from school at the same time. We don't want the situation where our children come home and stay home for 4 months before they go back to school. And so we're going to improve the free SHS. We're going to sit with the teachers and the parents and all the stakeholders, and together we will forge an implementation plan that will make the free SHS better.
Obeka say, only the Oba or the 24-hour economy, and yes, sir. So Kasa on Carboni, Obi Obeka say, 24-hour economy, no. Enya di papa no next or no anti politics ase jesi ebisa yewra John Mahama ni say die na ubeya ebema economy no etimi around 24 hours and only question ase ebisa Say open 24-hour economy. You must fix your economy first. An economy in crisis cannot support a 24-hour economy. So number one pillar of our government, will be industrialization. Industrialization. And I do a Jumba Baba Ghana. I know now bet me more around the 24-hour economy. There are also any infrastructure development. Infrastructure development. Ya kwai se wonya wa kwai a we bet try 24-hour economy. It also means ade bi e frɛ no information technology. There are also 9 any tourism.
Mr. Tremantin commended the Heritage Caravan initiative. He urged Ghanaians to join the movement for change and support his bid to lead the country in 2024.
Tourism, domestic tourism is as important as bringing in people from outside. America. Your friend Dr. Roxin Onininia Bella. Almost see Omutia Brochure, Omubedi holiday wa Ghana. City FM for enemy bomber basso. Yes, Omu or BBFN heritage talk. It me 2 weeks. Yaruba Ghana Yina. Minion Omu say. Wama Kasa Omu ko Abrochia holiday. Ghana hay Omubaye. They were able to see the whole of Ghana.
Yao Boabin Asamoah, a leading member for the Movement for Change, asserted that Alan Tremantin possesses the qualities necessary to bring about the change Ghanaians desire.
The Yellow Army is using a yellow revolution and it has hit Kumasi hard. It will hit Ghana politics the way it has hit Kumasi. So we are all expecting change. Transformational change. We will follow the movement for change. We will vote for Alan Tremantin. The Yellow Army will revolutionize Ghanaian politics.
Attendees, clad in yellow shirts featuring pictures of Alan Tremantin, held placards to amplify his vision.
Pese mebedi umampenyi sede mebeye mebefa kwanya mpuntu beba ye maimu ebet kan asanti maimu miwo vishina nana uhwea Ghana yaye adwuma no bebre but ye nyenwie ebi bebre wo ho a gise yeye nyame ya adom ena mebe ye omampanyi a niema bebre wo ho a meso mepese meye mede ka ho na mpuntuo no eba de edama kuma no supane ye railway system wo Ghana uhwe man bia rail a very important piece of infrastructure. Mine na ebetitumpono railway very important. But we share Ghana ha wo mineral deposits bebre. Edda ho gold wo ho, bauxite wo ho, iron ore wo ho, lithium wo ho bebre. But ye be exploitis mineral resources no really ni ho untimi mfa trucks and fasa minerals all the time. Eninti many countries etimia ye rail no nyame adom na meso betena ho a akonia kese no so a meso mefa kwan said the other countries aye no yeso ye befa kwan ama private sector aba abekaye ho na ye railway no ewo Ghana ha eno na ebeboa yen minim say ye Boankra port ye akoso but rail ni ho a the benefit no emba so mayen enti railway development ebe one of the key policies are me pese medeba.
We're going to improve healthcare, and in our 2020 manifesto we talked about the introduction of primary healthcare. When the manifesto is put out, you will see the provisions that are there for primary healthcare. We're going to uncap the NHIS. Currently, this government has capped the NHIS and is taking some of the NHIS money into the consolidated fund. And that is why when you go with your NHIS card, the hospitals are reluctant to serve you because they don't refund the claims that they make. So we'll uncap the NHIS so that when you go, you can get good, affordable treatment at our health facilities.
We are going to elect a new president in 2024, in December 2024. And when I say a new president, I mean a new president, not a second-hand president. I mean a new president. We are going to elect a president that will take us into the future, not a president that will take us back into the past. We are looking forward. We are not going backwards. We want a president who thinks about possibilities, not impossibilities. We want the Ghana to be a beacon for all African countries, for all the world to see what can be done with possibilities. Former President Mahama is a former president. Let us maintain him as a former president.
They always say that to make or to create wealth or value, you need wisdom. And it's true. You need a lot of wisdom. You need a lot of knowledge. But to be wise, what does it take? You simply need to understand what it takes to be stupid so you don't repeat stupidity. And you're a wise person. Why do we have a currency that we base the currency on someone else's currency? Our currency is valued and pegged by the US dollar. The US dollar has pegged gold to the US dollar as their reserves. They come to buy the gold from you, give you the US dollar, and then you pledge your cedi to it. Americans are not buying anything from us every day. We are buying things from them every day, so we're forced to change our cedi to their dollar and go and buy those things. They don't buy anything. The only thing they buy from us is the gold, and they don't buy it from the citizens. They buy it directly from the government. So why haven't we hedged our cedi to our gold? It is destroying our country. The sad thing is, it's not our country people that destroyed our country. We let in the Chinese, and there are millions of Chinese in our country, and they mine 24/7. Now all our waters are poisoned. And the food that we're starting to eat is this same water system that is feeding the ground. So, believe it or not, in the next 10 to 15 years, don't be scared if you see any children with 3 eyes or 7 fingers.
It's happening already.
It's happening already? Okay. Now, for me as a leader, the first thing I will do is I will stop the foreigners who are destroying my land. In fact, if the Chinese are hearing me, I will probably put hundreds of thousands of them under house arrest and call the Chinese president that this is what you've done to my country. You have caused 33 million people's lives, and therefore you are going to be responsible for building and fabricating all our nest plants that will recycle this water again for us to get our life back. And after, I will release your 100,000 people to you after 4 years of hard work to fix my country. Just to show the world that we are not animals here. You cannot go to anyone's country and destroy their water, destroy their whole life. What kind of government do we have? And they're sitting down watching them. What is Ghana today? Who are we? Anybody comes to our country and experiment us and do whatever they like, and they go out just because they put something in a brown envelope for somebody who is not even certified to be a minister or to be a leader. This revolutionary consciousness is to stop certain things that is coming from outside into our countries that It's being manipulated. You know, we are being restricted. We're being destroyed. And our leaders can see it. And they're just watching it happening. When you go to Dubai, when you go to Emirates, these people are buying our gold every day. They pack it, they refine it, keep it as reserves. When it gets to 200 tons, they call any financial institution and say, look at my gold. It's stamped, it's Swiss stamp. I need 200 billion. And you just show them the gold and you have to take the money. So we can let our galamzeys come and work for us in the next 3 years to reach the 200 billion, and I will write all your loans off one touch.
So, number one pillar of our government, will be industrialization. Industrialization, and I do a Jumba Baba Ghana. I know now bet me more around the 24-hour economy. There also any infrastructure development. Infrastructure development. Yakwain, say one ya wakwaya. We went to a 24-hour economy. It also means I gave you a friend information technology. There are also 9 any tourism.
Mr. Tremantin commended the Heritage Caravan Initiative.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to remove schools under trees. Professor Mill started that program, and we provided good school environment for hundreds of thousands of children. We're going to continue the removal of schools under trees and improve our basic education. For tertiary students, we're going to take a part of your university land. We will say to your universities, they will carve out a portion of your land. And we're going to work with the private sector to build student hostels so that you will live on campus and not live elsewhere and suffer the danger of traveling to and from home to school.
We will use the government's purchasing power to stimulate industrial expansion and business growth. This will help create jobs by rolling out a Buy Ghana First policy, under which all goods and services procured by the public sector will first be filled by goods and services produced locally. And we will back this by legislation. We will implement a shift in electricity tariffs to the electricity tariff structure to a regime in which commercial rates are either equal to or lower than residential rates, never higher, to power our industries and businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also going to establish an SME bank to meet the special financing needs of small, medium, and small-scale medium enterprises, which will employ over 80% of Ghanaians.
But I want you, and I want Ghanaians to be rest assured, I am not that Mbabunu. And I will make sure I create wealth in this country. I make sure I will bring jobs in this country. Because, say, if we are able to just get another 3.5 million workers, we will have 7 million workers. 7 million workers is what we had in 1960. And the country was slightly above 7 million, which means 90-something% where they had jobs. Today, we're 33 million. And it's just above 12% that have jobs. The rest are unmarried. Just because we're tolerating foreigners and outsiders to come and take advantage of us. And we don't even know what to do with our own people. Our own people. We have 75%, which is 0 to 45 years. The youth, this is empowerment. What are we doing with them? As a country, we have to have the structure and the planning to be able to give free education to our people. The question is, can we afford it? Because free education will probably come from tax people's money or our reserves. And we have a minus. Our GDP says 75 billion. but we can't get 3 billion. We have to go and borrow it from IMF. That means there's a big vacuum in our economy. And this problem should be looked at so it can support the decision that we've taken to give free SHS. The cost of it, the kids will have 3 months education and they'll go and stay home 3 months. They'll come back and they'll stay home 3 months, because when you budget what it costs to give a nation free education is really high. That means your turnover also should be really high. You see, the way to build your economy is to have exportation power, where you export a lot of goods outside. So people's economy will come into your country. If you take your money to go and import goods into your country, you're sending your economy to those people. And so the same government, if he decides to give free education, he needs that avenues that is producing revenues in the country and causing a circulation and bringing profit into the governmental system to cater for that. And they could have problems. So it's very important that we look at how our developmental agenda in this country is, the benefits that is bringing, the profitability schedules, and then apply economy of scale so we can expand education in our country from that angle. I also think that if we're educating our people, whether it's free or pay for, please educate your country about what is in your country. The minerals in your country is important. The governance in your country is important. If you don't have this education about putting plants and putting the things in place that would process these things and package them so you can put them on shelves, or you can put them in warehouses and people will load them in containers like Americans are doing, like Indians are doing, like Europeans are doing. That is the education that we need in our country. We have to add it to our academic curriculum. We export our talents out and we import our products in. The product that we're importing came from the resources, the mineral resources that it extracted from us. So all we have to do is to put industrialization in the equation and everything changes. Everything. You create millionaires, you create entrepreneurs, you create governors, you create leaders. So the value of the country grows. When you put your nation first, your country automatically grows. Automatically. So the youth might be making a lot of noise and not be using their voice as much as they're supposed to. Don't think I don't know it. I do. When they have the chance to have their democratic right and learn about democracy, they don't allow them. They let them go into university, and that's where they buy them. That's when they make them the SRCs and start giving them money to campaign. And so we're cheating our children to become straight corrupt politicians, or it's either that or they're in the church praying and they're going to become some kind of pastor that will tell you what your future is going to be like, but they can't determine their own future. This is a country that we live in that I want to make it very clear that I don't need your consent to love you. I don't need your consent to stand for you. So I want to make it very clear to the youth that as much as I stand for them and I scream for them, it's not because I need your consent. It's because I'm thinking about the ones who are unborn yet. Because I know that if I don't fix this problem and if I don't help fix it, it will become a generational problem and it will keep going down and down and down and down and down. So I don't just think for the people of today, but I also think for the people for tomorrow. And that's why I stand for the youth. So that's what I mean by I stand for the youth. And I know most of them don't even have votes, because when I started advocating for this continuation for voting, for vote registration, they all went quiet. I was expecting the youth of this country to get up and stand for their rights and ask questions to the EC. Why are you not allowing us to have the votes? Why are you giving us 20 days out of the whole year to practice democracy? But they can't. But it's not my problem, and I will not be responsible for someone being coward. But I'm a very courageous man, and I was born to be like that. And I'm sure that's the reason why God has chosen me to come and lead. Because if the youth had that courage, maybe they would have started this before me. I have started a movement. And I have opened a door that not only me will be like this as from now, from tomorrow, in the years coming, you're also going to see young people like me who will gather the courage and start to work like this. And it's because we need to start our leadership from a younger age. Don't expect people who have outlived their future to build your future. So if someone is 75 years old, don't think that they can think to build your future for you for the next 50 years or 80 years. Leadership should start when we're young.
We will also complete the digitalization of land titling and registration to allow owners of landed properties to use their properties as collateral to raise capital for their business growth and expansion. We will create special economic zones in collaboration with the private sector at Ghana's major border towns such as Aflao, Paga, and Elubo to enhance economic activity, increase exports, reduce smuggling, and create jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to the cost of living, reducing the cost of living. Another major priority of my government will be to reduce the cost of living. The world is facing what is commonly referred to as the global cost of living crisis. Even though the inflation has dropped by half this year, prices remain high. I want a Ghana where we can attain food security through the application of technology and irrigation to commercial large-scale farming. We will also promote the use of agricultural lime to reduce the acidity of our soils, enhance soil fertility, and get more yield from the application of fertilizers. Ghana has an abundance of limestone to do this. I will prioritize the construction of the Pualugu Dam by using the private sector financing to crowd in grant financing. Ladies and gentlemen, we will also ensure food security by stabilizing the prices of foods produced locally through financing and guarantees from the Development Bank Ghana and the Ghana Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, also known as GESL. This will mainly involve upscaling the production of staple foods, investing in the preservation of staple foods, meat, poultry, and fish products, and establishing agricultural enclaves which will have irrigation, processing, and storage facilities in each region for crops or grains in which the regions have a comparative advantage. We will reduce the cost of transportation by promoting and supporting electric vehicles for public transportation. By the grace of God, I hope the first 100 buses that we will be introducing for public transportation will hopefully, inshallah, arrive before the end of December this year. We are also going to expand the Gold for Oil program to continue stabilizing the price of fuel. Stabilizing the price of spare parts through the flat rate duties for all importers policy, which will bring predictability and stability on prices of imported goods. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also going to make your driver's license valid for 10 years and extend the renewal period to 5 years. Under a housing for all policy, I will also have a major focus on the provision of public housing in the same manner that Singapore did. We will partner with the private sector to build large housing estates without the government having to borrow or spend. Also, the National Rental Assistance Scheme, which has worked so well with thousands of beneficiaries, will be enhanced to deal with the problem of the demands of rent advance of 2 years or more. We will also ensure a variety of accommodation types to meet different pockets and needs as follows. In social housing, we'll be including homeless shelters, overnight stay for the vulnerable, and expanded rental assistance schemes for low-income workers. In the area of affordable housing, we'll be including district housing projects through incentives to the private sector, real estate industry, as well as expanding the services of the revived State Housing Company and the Tema Development Corporation and the National Home Ownership Fund, and improving housing finance through an expansion of the mortgage lending market as well as rent-to-own schemes. Ladies and gentlemen, we will use a variety of ways to deliver access to the various types of accommodation. For example, social housing. We will provide public lands within our main cities to private developers, and in order to benefit, make it mandatory for them to set aside between 20 and 30% for low-income social housing units with subsidized rents. Significantly, ladies and gentlemen, improving the availability and affordability of power. We will do this by bringing on board 2,000 megawatts of solar power and incentivizing users by buying access to power they generate from their solar systems and paying with free electricity from the national grid when they need power through net metering. We will continue to make accessing services easier. For example, once you have a Ghana card, all public organizations will not be required to collect your basic data. They will have all that data. They don't need you to fill any forms because all of it is on your Ghana card. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to build a Ghana where we leverage technology, data, and systems for inclusive economic growth. I want to build a Ghana into a world-class digital economy. I want to build a Ghana where we apply digital technology, STEM, robotics, and artificial intelligence for the transformation of agriculture, healthcare, education, manufacturing, fintech, and public services delivery. As part of this process, it is my goal to eliminate the digital divide by achieving over 90% internet.
We want our tertiary students to live on campus so that they can stay on campus and learn. There are several instances where students leaving the university and going for accommodation outside the university have either been knocked down by vehicles, attacked by armed robbers, or have found themselves in danger. There are many things that we intend to do.
When you look at Nkrumah, when he started this, he was in his 40s. All the people around him were 40s. They were energetic. They were aggressive. They were ready to work. They were ready to stand in the sun. And why are you just standing there and thinking that the old man who you are responsible to look after them? They looked after you before. It's your time to look after them. You are still thinking that they're going to build your future. I think people who are thinking this way are lazy people. They're not ready to get up. And a lot of Ghanaian youth are like that. They think all they have is a voice, and I'm the youth, and I'm the youth. My friend, tomorrow will come, you will no more be the youth. You will be an old man. So if you're going to stand on your feet now and move and make sure that you contribute to the success of the development in this country, you better do it now to be with the history men for tomorrow.